Positive news today that Sunday school in church and sunshine it's got back. Without conducting research. On myself. Though I can call my cousin Betty. You join in. We're going to do that. Everybody snowed in the Midwest. Let me give it a few minutes, about 10 minutes on my own. Had a productive weekend. So far, yesterday, we Ron and I did at Mason's Hall, the church. They had some entrepreneurs who were selling their creations, some clothes, and so they collaborating together. It goes a long ways. Juan and I worked together, served a number of people, some of the vendors, and the public. And that was a successful event under Boss Moss Kitchen from 11 until 4 o'clock. So a lot of preparation and it paid off. So today, this morning, Sunshine, Kalea, Delon, and myself went to Sunday school first, and then we went to church. Church school she went to, and we attended church. So it was a great day. And it's like giving God, the sermon was on giving God what he wants. And that's pretty much praise, recognizing him. And in the same vein, recognizing others, who's blessed you with and who you've been to be a blessing to. Great message. Good. How you doing, cuz? Are you feeling any better?
Hello.
Hello, Betty. Are you feeling any better? Yeah, sounds like you're still under the weather.
I feel real good. I just don't have my voice back.
Okay.
Not running no fever or nothing. No. It's a good thing. It just comes and goes.
I was just I was just check I was just checking on you.
What? You got a meeting tomorrow?
Tomorrow is today. Today's
Okay.
today's Sunday.
Oh, you have a meeting.
I'm having one right now.
Well, idiot, but I really do it. I enjoy.
You said what?
I don't know if I'm able to do much talking,
You can do
but
yeah, well, join in and I'll show you a few things.
okay, send me a little email.
Do you have it on one of your other emails? Check it out. On your email, the last email I sent you, the link should be in there. And I'll share my screen with you. And you don't have to do anything but sit back. You can see how I conduct my research.
What? It's, yeah.
If up in the search, if you search my name, it should show up and they have a link in the meeting.
The last I got was November 3rd. Would that work?
Yes.
Okay. When Okay.
How's that?
Okay. I'm here. I'll turn my phone off.
Okay, me too. So, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Hush.
So this is what I do. If you can hear me, say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll turn on my computer. First of all, I didn't put out an invitation, quote unquote, and I'm still available. they knew had scheduled previously. This is one of the dates. So what I'm gonna do is keep this short. But, we all into the holiday season. So people, focusing on family. But what I do is when I do come in and turn on my computer, I'm gonna share my screen. Mm-hmm. So can you see my home page?
Yes.
Okay. What I do first, cousin Betty, is I check my notes up here, over at the top, notes. And nobody has responded. The last person who responded was Curl. And I'll check her out just again. This is a catch because that's her name. She's new since November 2024. And when I knew matches, I saw that she was new. And then I, I reached out with my reach out text message. As you can see, here it is. And you know about that, correct?
Yes.
So there it is. And I sent that to her. I sent that on December 6th. December 11th, she came back. She read everything. Girl did. And she gave me her email and telephone number. So as you see, she's a fourth through sixth cousin on my mother's side. So I'm establishing a rapport with her. She responded, and this is November. And she's a new member. I reach out to the new members most of the time. So let's take a look at her. Pearl Lovings. She's in Houston, Texas. She's plus 60. You see that? And she's a half third cousin, 22 Central Morgan, Public Tree. I think I might have somebody else here. Or did you cut out?
I'm here.
Well, let me see. Somebody else is joining. Let me see about that. Oh, Denise is joining. She was in our meeting last time. Oh. So Betty, you still with me?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how I start my research. And then I continue to build a rapport with this person because it's my first time meeting them. And they're like a third or fourth cousin, third cousin, one removed on my mother's side. Hello, Denise.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you for joining in. I'm here with my cousin Betty, who lives in
Hi, Betty.
Rapid City, South Dakota. And this is uh, cousin Denise, and she's in Cincinnati, Ohio?
Pickerington, Ohio.
Yeah, in Ohio.
Yeah, that's just outside Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I saw the weather report. Man, oh man.
Yeah,
So what?
we got rain today, but it's supposed to get up to 50 over the next couple days. So we're still in roller coaster mode.
We're up to 41.
41, huh? Well, Denise, what I'm doing is sharing my screen, and
Uh-huh.
I'm letting I'm showing Betty what I do when I first turn on my screen, some of my research, how I conduct research.
Okay.
So I just started, so let me share this. So what happened is from my home page, I go into my notes and see who's responded or not. And this Carol Lovings has responded. But I got her. I'm gonna have to go back. On my home screen, the first thing I do, I look what's up here, and then I go down to my um, Jerry Brent Moss's new matches, and I go through them first. I look at them, and I look for a fourth. Most of the time, I look at a fourth. Like, see this person. This is the new person, Kyusha Clark. So I try to get as close as I can with these new matches.
Yeah, that looks like Kiana.
Kiana,
Yeah, huh. Kiana Clark.
Kiana. So I click on her, and she's matching me 30 centimorgans and two segments. So she's a definite relative. And that's why I started with these new matches. So when time is limited, all of our times, yeah. But this is how I conduct my reach out reach out message to individuals. Okay. I see this. I go to their name, Kiana. She was just last active today. You see that? And she has 19 people in her tree. Then I go to shared matches. Now share a match here to see what side of families on she's on. See how I'm going to group her. This is basic research. I'm just going through the steps. Okay, the first person she matches is my son Donnell, 24, Central Morgan, and see my son he's 34, 81 Central Morgans. So then I go down. She matches him 24, 24. And I'm looking at my side. This is my daughter, Bridget Moss. Delon is my grandson. So she's matching them pretty tight. My grandson, Delon Moss. And then this Mark Hunter, that's on my father's side. That's my uh, first cousin's son on my father's side. So he matches me 5'22", matches her 22. And Faye Coleman, that's on my father's side too. 170, 24. So I know what group to match her in. But I'll take another look a little bit further to see what's going on here. And you can see these F's over here. That's for my father's side because I have some groups. I've already matched these people. And I'll just look just a little bit. It definitely confirms that she's on my father's side. Oh, but look at here. Uh, Denise, this is what is pretty helpful, and you to you, Betty. Look at here. This person here, ZK, matches me 25 Central Morgan's. She matches Tiana 3,400. This says that this is her mother. So that tells me, oh, and here's another one. Kimberly Clark, 1701. And that's like a half sister. Now, this person, Kiana Clark, I don't know if she knows that, but she might know. But I'm just doing a little exploring this person because I'm deciding I'm gonna reach out to that person, but I want to be able to give them something when I reach out. So I know she's on my father's side, so I pick add my father, add group. Now Denise and Betty, I could go all four of my grandparents, have four groups, but I'm right now I'm just keeping them at two. But they're color coded. So anyway, there she is. She matches me on my father's side. Now I haven't reached out to her yet, and she hasn't reached out to me. But I just found out today that this is a uh, third cousin one removed or something like that. So what I do is I go over here to one of my cousins that I have reached out to previously, and I have a reach out date message, and here it is. I I tell them they're a new cousin. I call out what their names are, tell them who I am, and you are related to people on my. It's going to be my father's side, so I can change that. And then I go in and give some brief information there, and I'm telling where I reside at, some information there. And this person might be experienced and have GEDMAT, so I gave that in my first paragraph. And then I talk about the Moss Burnell family, where they originated at, some of my information. I put it together, my family history as best as I could put it together. Then I tell them about my research group, our research group and the meetings. And I let them know that you can join it by downloading Zoom. And if you want to have a private meeting with someone, I'm available to host that. And our next meeting will be uh, for December 15th. This was somebody I sent this message 2 days ago. And so that's my introduction. So what I'm going to do is take this message. I highlighted it, right click, and copy it. And I'm going to go back to this person, Kiana. And I'm going to send the message, Kiana. See, I haven't contacted her. She's new. So right here, I'll go the message, right. I click there, right click, and paste it. There it is. And that message, what I do is change this name right here. Instead of Curl, I change it to Kiau DNA. And it's the same message. I know that she's related to me on my father's side. And so I might have put up there, but anyway, I asked greetings, new cousin Kiana. And then I send this one to her. But at the bottom, I changed. Now this meeting changes. Our first meeting next year is going to be Sunday, January something. Oh, but let's keep it on today because she might respond. And then what I do is just send it. And so I've reached out to this new cousin today. How much time did that take? Oh, about 5 minutes or so. That's my reach out text message. And I put it out there in the ocean. And then I'll let that sit out there in the ocean, like behind me. Y'all see that ocean back there? I put it out there, deep waters. And then we'll see what fish bites it. It could be a small one, it could be a large one. We'll see. And so then I'll show you what happens from there. Let me see if I got somebody else who wants to come in. Let me stop sharing first, just to make sure I get them in. Clarice. So I just have a question for you. That's how I reach out to new DNA relatives. I know they're my relatives, and I reach out to them. And then if they respond, then we can build a solid relationship. That's why when you're on our meetings, when we're talking to individuals, the majority of people are related. We're related. They're related on my mother's side and my father's side. And then we conduct research. I really like fishing. But in this case, I fish for big game fishing. Big game. That's my goal, is the whale. But I have to get it out where the whales are. And then let it go down, down, down. Maybe a barracuda might hit it. Okay, I'll work with try to get it in. Bring that message. They respond, or it might be a whale. Someone even whale is a close relative, half brother, uh, half sister, or a niece, or a nephew, a great niece, a grandniece, 900 centimeters, something like that. And then, you have to really be careful when you bring them in. Just because you hook them doesn't mean that you're going to bring them in. So that means you have to be diligent. You have to be respectful and talk to them in a way that you can build a solid relationship, because they're searching for their family members that they might not even know they had. And my purpose is to help them uh, find who they are and where they came from and their current relatives, and in the process, who their ancestors were and where they came from. And that gives me joy. And that gives me a purpose to listen to them, help them. And it's my DNA therapy. That being said, what happened I just turned on my computer not too long ago, and let's go back to this. Let's go back to this to the notes at the top. So let me share my screen. Hello, Clarice. Clarice, can you hear me? She's on.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, Denise and Betty, I'm gonna just want to continue this this brief exercise. And so I'll go back and remember I share my screen. The Kiana is the 4th to 6th that I just sent a reach out message to. On the 11th, I sent one out to Curl. And so here's what happens. Curl, she had my reach out text. She received my reach out text message on when was it? December 6th. And between, like I said, it's in the ocean. But finally, she bit and she read the message. And here's what she did. She came back December the 11th. She gave me her name, email address, and her telephone number. And then what I'll do, she's a 4th to 6th cousin. She matches me 22 segments across 22 centimorgans. And then I'll just take another look at her right here. And here's where she lives in Houston, Texas. She's plus 60. And she was last active 2 to 6 days ago. So now that I have her on my reach out text message, she's hooked, but I haven't brought her in yet. That's where the skill comes in. So now I have to respond to her. And when I respond, I appreciate you responding to me. And when your schedule permits, let's conduct research to see how we might be related. Either way, we're related through DNA. And respond back and forth. They help me build my tree, and I help them do the same. And we connect as family through DNA.
That are in the field that can actually accommodate either a GSL Super G or a downhill cell Super G. And with her results in downhill, she knows how to run a long ski. She knows how to butter that turn, build it just like that, right? And now back in her truck, working that terrain, skiing clean.
She was the standard in this discipline last season.
All right. Are we back?
Yeah, we back.
Okay. Clarice, please.
Yes.
Could you
Here was.
like I hear your background. That's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to get over there and turn that TV off. I'm gonna mute myself until I get over there.
Please. Now, what that does, the process that I use there, I'm always reaching out. I'm always fishing for new relatives. What this program gives us, and they give us DNA matches, but it's no good until you connect with them and build a rapport. Find out how you're connected, and I keep it simple. Some things I don't have the answer. They don't have the answer. But know that we can work together whether they're DNA relative or they're one of my friends that we're conducting research. This Moss Gildon Genealogy Research Group, our purpose is to collaborate and build bridges between each other. So I wanted to share that with you, Betty. That's one of the techniques I use. And then I go into my more intense, a little more intense research. But I'm always fishing. The first thing I do, because these new members come up, oh, about every 3 to 4 days. Every 3 to 4 days, you can go. Listen, every 3 or 4 days, as you know, Denise, you can go right here under either one of you. Just let you know. Here's a screen right down here. Jerry Brent's new DNA matches. Okay, you just go right across, boom, 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 and these some of the recent DNA matches. So I'm 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 fishing. When I turn this computer on, when I am researching and I'm not working, I go both. I'm reaching out and we're building bridges. That's my background is engineering, designing, and drafting, and that's with this civil engineering and with this DNA, the science and the technology. It, it's unbelievable what we've been able to find through DNA and constructing. See that reconstructing our family? Well, to reconstruct them, you got to have a plan. You got to have a blueprint. And so that's where the mind comes in. That's where the tools, and that's where each one of you come in, working together. When we work together, we succeed. And that's what we've been able to accomplish. So, you're a gift to me. And I'm so thankful that you're here listening and joining in. That makes it worthwhile for me. So uh, the, the floor is open. Uh, are there any questions, or does anyone have any comments on how your week's been, or what are you planning for, going forward? Do you have anything that you want to share research wise? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll go. Um, Obviously, I do this full time now that I'm retired from my real job. Uh, but at the present, I am pulling together books to give to my family members on both my side of the family and my husband's side of the family. Um, I I attempt to make this a traditional thing. The last update I gave them was about 3 years ago, and I've done a lot of work in both family trees since then. So I'm currently I've printed them off, and now I'm reviewing the books just to make sure that I've got all my T's crossed and my I's dotted. I use Family Tree Maker, the book creator add-on to create these books, and so it kind of organizes everything for me. Puts in pictures. I can add additional ones if I want, but it puts in the pedigree charts and a lot of the history that I've collected over the past few years. So I'm looking forward to giving them these. So I'm trying to get them together in time for Christmas. That's pretty much what I've been working on.
I have a question for you. I have Family Tree Maker, and I think that idea that you're going to give them their family history is awesome.
Thank you.
Not something that's tangible, but it's more valuable than something that's tangible. Their
Yeah.
history and the platform that you're using, that family tree maker, I have it also. Now, what you're doing, you're taking it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
You said there's a component, a book component, correct?
Yes, there's an add-on called Family Book Creator, and it's an add-on specific to Family Tree Maker. Um, and it's designed to work with Family Tree Maker. So you can use that to create books from a descendant level or ancestors or relatives. I mean, I can share if you'd like.
Please,
Um,
please. I have one question. Clarice, Clarice.
I got to get to the TV and turn it down. That's why I'm still muted, but I'm listening.
Okay, well, the TV we don't hear now, but that's pretty interesting, isn't it, Clarice? That that she can give books to.
Yes, it is. And matter of fact, I want to, if I can get her information from time to time, maybe I can contact her and get some, additional information from her. I'd like to do that if that's possible.
Oh,
oh, certainly.
Betty,
Yes, sir.
what do you think of that? Her project.
That's that's pretty good.
She has a little cold, but
Oh, bless her heart.
as a gift, isn't that interesting?
It is. We are now doing sign-on sheets at our family reunion starting this next one. I've done sent them to my cousin Jamie so everybody can sign in so we can get the newest ones in there because they're having kids so fast.
Okay, Denise,
Yes.
would you please go back to your um to your homepage in Family Tree Maker for us, please?
Um,
No, the
what do you?
homepage. The homepage, just so they can see what Family Tree Maker's homepage is.
Oh, I I don't think I've ever used a home page,
Well,
but
that's the first
here, here,
when it comes to
are
your
you talking about?
tree, it,
Uh-huh.
it shows your trees. And the first one is, everything shows up. Once you're
Well,
in there,
here's the.
go ahead.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the tab that shows all the different trees, and this isn't all of them. These are just ones that I'm working with right now. But the different trees that I'm working with.
Yeah. In the
Um,
upper left hand corner, right?
well, yeah, this identifies the tree.
Right. So go ahead from there.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is from the browser, I'm going to select the smaller tree because this first one that I'm currently working on has over 38,000 people, and that tree is going to be huge. Anything I do to it's going to take a long time. So I'm going to go to a smaller tree, um, just so you can get a feel of what things look like. And of course, with Family Tree Maker, it's a little easier to navigate in Ancestry than Ancestry, but it also connects or syncs up with
One other,
Ancestry.com.
what,
So
one
I
other,
can,
excuse me, just one other question, and I won't
uh-huh.
interrupt you anymore. Is this program like a beta, something that Family Tree Maker added on, or is there additional costs?
The Family Tree Maker is a separate software.
I know
It's a
I
totally.
know about that, but I'm saying in Family
Mhm,
Tree Maker, is there a
mhm.
separate cost in Family Tree Software Maker for this portion about the books?
For the book, yes, it's an add-on. So that book is separate. When you go to the website, Software McKeeve, it shows you the different types of add-ons that they have. One is for charts. One is for the bookmaker. So instead of using Publish, because you can use the Publish in Family Tree Maker too, but it's a little more challenging. With the Book Creator, I just select Tools and Plugins, Export with Plugins, and there's my Family Book Creator. I'll select that. And then when it starts running, it's going to pull up my options for creating a book. It takes a little bit. I've got a lot of tabs open too. So I wasn't quite prepared to do this. I could have.
Oh, that's okay. We're right there with you.
Okay. So now this is where you start creating your book. Your title page, what you're going to use is your title page. So this one, I've got it preset. So it'll select whatever family name, which is on my tree that I'm using, and it says Family Heritage. I embedded this tree. So I put this image in here myself. For my cover page, this would be my cover page for my book. And then it says, who created it, which is me, and where and the date. So, and it looks quite well once it's done. I must say so myself. And then the colophon is, again, you want to say that it's copyright because you're creating it. So it's got my compilation information up top, and then again at the bottom, it's got the copyright rules. So if anybody wants to reproduce my book, they have to do it after they get permission from me. I've had a couple people request to print it, to photocopy it and share it with other family members. And I'm okay with that. But at one time when I first started creating these, because they were so expensive to produce due to the size, I would ask them to donate the cost of producing the book. So back then, that's when I said, hey, a donation would be great, or you can have your other family members pay a donation just to cover the cost of printing it. I don't ask for, whatever it costs me to do the work, because this is my hobby. This is what I do. There's a dedication page. And of course, I've added some things. Some of this is just standard, but I've created my own dedication page to indicate, who I'm dedicating the book to. And then, of course, there's a forward, and you can choose to include or not include any of these pages. So like here's your option here to include it or not to include it. If I remove that check mark, the next time I print this book, the forward would not be included. The table of contents, and it's going to include like the headlines of the families and things of that nature. And then there's an introduction. Now in the introduction, I add some additional information about the DNA results. In this case, it's for my Jarrett family. So my brother-in-law did the DNA testing. So I add the DNA results in here as well, so that families can see how their ethnicity has been brought about and how that information has been collected. So I share that with them as well. Just to, some people are interested and some are not, but I like to share it. And then I can identify, in this case, I said relatives of, but you've got a lot of options here. So you can just have an alphabetical family register. You can do ancestors of, and this book will only consist of the ancestors of that person. Descendants of, which start with that starting person that you've selected and all their descendants. So you can pick and choose how large or how small you want your book to be. And then, of course, there's indices or indexes. Um, and of course, it's always good to have an index in your book so folks can go to the back of the book and they can look up a name, John Doe, and find out what page John Doe is on if they don't want to go through the entire book, or if they don't want to go by the table of contents. And you can identify how you want your index listed. So you are basically designing how you want your book to look like. And you can always, experiment, select different options and print off, just do it in a small bite so you can see how it's going to look. And I'm going to go back to the main part here, and it says degree of kinship. So in this case, I've got all degrees. So anyone, if it's fourth cousin 3 times removed, they would show up in the book. So you can always, and you can use canon law or you can use civil law, all of those kind of things. So you can pick and choose how you want your book to be created. In this case, I think I'm going to go with descendants of, and when you do descendants of, you can select how many generations. Do you want all generations, or do you just want one generation, 2 generations? For this individual, he's pretty far down on the list, but he was born in 1875. So I'm just going to say, let's do 2 generations just so I can generate this and you can get an idea of what it looks like. Items to include. So I've got the family chart, which is what I was talking about before. And that family chart, I've also selected to include grandparents of all the individuals. So each time a chart is displayed, it's going to go back 2 generations on that chart. For the primary person, is there any specific information I want to include or exclude? Like if I have any personal notes or any research notes, I can elect to leave that in the book or take it out of the book. Source citations, do I want to include them or exclude them? In this case, I've said leave them out. If I want to include pictures, I could select that and say include pictures, even private pictures if I wanted to, and so on and so forth. So that happens for the partner, any children for that person, so on and so forth. If I had a photo album for that person, do I want to include that photo album in the book? Sometimes I include it when it's a small book. Sometimes, most of the times when it's a big book, I leave it out. But these are options, all options that you have for items to include. And then last but not least, how do I want these people to appear? What kind of order, do I want to create hyperlinks because it's going to be online or things of that nature? So with all of those selected, I'll go ahead and say it's just going to be 2 generations. I'm going to go ahead and say create the document. And again, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know who Alexander is, but so I've got descendants of Alexander Foster. Now, typically what I do is first create a Word document. So if I have to make changes, I can do that. So I'm going to save it. And now it's going to go ahead and start creating the document. And it's going to give you an update. So there's 5 families in here, which means it's a very small, which is a good thing. I don't want it to take a long time to create, just to show you guys what it looks like.
Amazing.
Okay, and it looks like this document has been created and it's about to open it up for me in Word. So there we are. So there's the cover page.
We
Here
don't
you
see it.
can,
We don't see it yet.
you don't see it?
Not yet.
Uh, Let me check how I'm sharing. It could be because it created a whole new document. I thought I selected share screen, but it looks like I had to, because this is in a totally different screen. So this is actually one I created earlier.
Yeah, we see that.
Okay. Well, that's good enough to show what you end up with. This is my son-in-law's family. Um, this is one I created for his family to give to them for Thanksgiving. But so again, there's the dedication, there's the forward, all the same information, table of contents. The family I'm starting with, and this one was his relatives. So this one's not the descendants, but his relatives. So this one said related and one step removed, which is his parents. Um, and the feedback I got from them was they'd appreciate if I had different information here saying how they were related, uh, instead of having the steps. So that was good feedback. I know what that means, but typically the people that are not into genealogy, they usually need an explanation of what that means. Here's the introduction. And in this one, one thing I like about this is it calculates some of the information for you. Like it tells you this document reports the details of 638 individuals, of whom
Denise,
322 are male. Yes.
could you go to the top first and come down again? Could you go to the top of your document after after the index or whatever that?
After the table of contents.
Yeah, yeah, after that.
Okay. That was the introduction.
Okay, let's see that. What is that? What is that about?
The introduction,
Mm-hmm.
it just gives some feedback that says, okay, this document was created on such and such a date, and it explains what's in the book, basically. And this is sort of a standard layout that was created by the software.
Okay.
Yeah, so this isn't something I created. This was automatically created by the software.
All right.
Um, and the same thing with this last chapter here. I mean, this last paragraph where it defines who, how many people are in here, how many are male, how many are female, um, and it gives like an average lifespan for the men, an average lifespan for the women, for those that I have birth and death dates on. And it also, here's an example, a living male, Charles Senegal, died at age 106. So it highlights those people that are centurions, basically. And the oldest living female was Marie Senegal, who died at age 100. That's the type of information. And this was populated by the software, not by me. So I didn't have to do that research to put that information in there,
Thank you.
which makes it very easy. And then from there, it goes on to,
It gets your attention. Like when you first,
yeah,
oh, this person has a book, and then you look at that. So what? I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. So, and then it gives you your little pedigree chart. You know, like I said, it's the grandparents, parents, and then Taylor, and of course my son-in-law, and then that's my daughter, and when they got married and everything. But and the brief history that I have on Taylor and my daughter. uh,
That's funny.
and then Yeah, and then it goes on to step two, which is his parents. So it covers again, his parents, their parents, and their grandparents. So, and this is all history that I've collected on his side of the family. Some of this he knows or knew, and some of it he did not. Um, he,
And they're putting it. It's from the program is printing this out now
exactly,
from your
exactly.
tree.
Exactly. It's printing it out exactly as I had it in Family Tree Maker. And so typically what I do is once I print this out, the reason I print it as a Word document first is so that I can go through and look for any corrections or misspellings or any information that's in there that I don't want to include. Um, I can take it out as a Word document. And then once I make those corrections, I save it again as a PDF, and then I can send it off to the printers to print out for me.
Or you can send it to your family members without printing a document.
That's true. Yes, I could for the smaller families when it's a small one. Now, for one of the larger ones that I have, uh, that was close to 2,000 pages. So, emailing that is out of the question.
Oh, what about even with the PDF?
Even with a PDF.
What kind of limits do you have on a PDF if it comes out?
I haven't come across any limits at this point, but it's the email that puts the limitation on the size of the document. So even as a PDF, if it's over 1,000 pages, it's a pretty large document. And that's where there's restrictions with whoever your email service is.
That's good to know. So that's why you're saying you're printing it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just send it to the printers and have them print it out. Um, I get a discount still with my employer because I've been using that printer for this. I use FedEx Kinko's because I get a corporate discount, and that's a good savings too. Can't complain. And yeah, so that's pretty much what this looks like. And in this case, it's listing, like grandparents. Um, there's great grandparents. It's breaking it down. All these things that are underlined in red, those are all situations. That's how they appear in the file. So those I have to go through and just clean those up, spell checks, do grammar corrections on those. It covers granduncles and aunts. And again, that's because this one is relatives. Now for the other one, I'll go ahead and close this one down. And I'll open up a different one, I think. Okay, so here's a different one, I think. This one is truly a descendant tree. And this is one that I'm doing for a friend of mine, actually. So this one you'll see in the table of contents, it starts with the families and then it's got the descendants. So it shows the first generation and who those people are, and then the second generation. So this,
please reshare.
oh, again,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. Yeah, so this is descendants of, and so you can see
The Foster family.
yeah, that's the family I just printed not too long ago. So you can see he's the starting family member. So that was him and his wife, Lula. And then it's got his descendants. And so it has a breakdown of the first generation and then the second generation. It includes a bibliography because that's what I requested. I typically like folks to know where I'm getting my information from, as well as, an index, as we talked about earlier, that breaks down the individuals. And then the end notes, it is like your sources. Where did this information come from? Not the books, but the actual documents like ancestry, family tree, um, and things of that nature. So everything, it's based on what's been identified as a source for those individuals in the document.
Man.
And of course, it's the software that's pulling all of this together. I don't have to try to do that. So it makes life a lot easier. So again, here's Alexander Foster, and little things like this, just getting to clean up, just to, because it will split if it doesn't fit. Um, so little things like that, and it'll break it down based on the information I have, and then like his children. And of course, if we have additional information and a chart for the children, they'll get a number as well. That's what that plus sign represents. So then we can go down to um, how many other children they have and whether they're male or female. So only the ones with numbers, a plus sign and numbers out on the far side means I have additional information, descendant information on those individuals. These others, I don't have anything on, and that tells me that's more research that I have to do or questions that I need to ask those family members that are reviewing this document. So there you go. That was number 2, Bert, first generation. So he's number 2, and his wife. So all of that. Any questions? Now, I don't think for them I have any pictures. I don't have any photos of these individuals, but if I did, they would show up in here as well.
How many pages is that?
This one, it looks like it's 27 pages.
Hmm.
A total of 27 pages. Yeah, that's the bibliography. Here's your index.
Oh,
So, and I've got it set up where
that's the
it's
index
by
right there, huh?
last name.
Yeah. In alphabetical
Uh-huh.
order. In alphabetical order. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. By last name is how I have it set up. But you can alter that. You can change how you want that set up.
Man, that's extraordinary.
Yeah. And then of course this is your end notes as we were looking at before.
Well, see, the the program that the program Family Tree Maker, when they started publishing your reports by genealogy, you know, by generations, you can have book by descendants. There's different formats,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that that was a game changer right there.
Yeah.
That we could send those to relatives who never knew anything about the family to this degree,
Mm-hmm.
research
Mm-hmm.
as a PDF file,
Mm-hmm.
and it's small enough that it can go through the emails.
Yeah, this one is small enough. And that's the beauty of this. I mean, if like at the reunion, when people ask me, "Oh, can I have one?" I said, "I can email you one of your specific family, so then I can go ahead and select that one individual and get their ancestors and generate a book just for their specific family, then it's a lot smaller." Now, when I generate the real big one for that one family where I've got 38,000 people in it, it's just there's no way that could be emailed. It's too large.
Well, in my
Mm.
case, Clarice, I'm gonna jump on your bandwagon. uh,
Yes.
I'm gonna jump on your bandwagon. Denise, will you help me do one? Will
Oh,
you please
certainly,
help me do mine?
certainly.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah,
I got
I,
a
I believe I
question for
have.
you though.
I believe I have
Yeah.
like about 1,300 people
Okay.
in my tree, and
Mm-hmm.
and I have the family tree maker, but I would like to share my tree, give you an invitation to look at my tree, because it's private,
Okay.
and let me know what I have to do to upload it, or how do you get it to where you can take a look at it and put it in a beta outline. What would you have to do?
What I would need to do, Jerry and Clarice, is that you would have to send me a GEDCOM file of your
Oh,
tree,
okay,
and then I could load it into Family Tree Maker because I can't sync it to Ancestry because it's not my tree. I don't own it.
right.
Family Tree Maker, I can only sync to the trees that I own. But if you wanted me to produce a book for you from the details in your tree, you'd have to send me a GEDCOM file, and
Even if
then I could,
even if it's a private tree,
even if it's a private tree,
uh, uh, uh,
because you
Denise,
sending me the GEDCOM file is equivalent to you giving me access to your tree.
cousin Denise, Clarice said, I heard her say, "Could you? We know how to. I've done it. Could you go through a simple test of getting our Jet match? I'm a Jet com file again,
Oh,
please."
oh yeah, oh yeah, from Ancestry.
Yeah,
Okay, let me.
Clarice.
Thank you.
Not a
Oh boy.
problem. Not
Oh
a
man.
problem. Let's see. Let me get back to,
The steps, because I've done it a few times.
yeah.
Let me just see. I'm sitting here on mine. I got my screen here. I get the file and I put it on my desktop, and then I can send it up to GEDmatch. I can send it different places.
Mm-hmm.
But see, Clarice is going to help me do it. So
She is.
yeah, she can help me do it.
That's that's going to be awesome.
But we have to see
I'm,
what you
I'm
do
definitely
first.
counting on you, Jerry.
That
You
will
know the
be
language.
awesome.
I'm just trying to get all this language together.
Oh, okay.
And that was
Yep.
one question I was going to ask.
Okay. Basically, a GEDCOM file is a file that you can send to other software, genealogy software programs.
Okay.
And that is basically all the information that you have in your tree, in a specific tree that you've designated, and you can pass that to other people or other places. So let me get here to my ancestry file. And again, this is a big tree, so I'm going to switch trees here.
and I'm gonna go right along with you as you do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So I'm on my screen. Um, I'll do this for you, Clarice.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. So I'm
Hey,
in
hey,
a
say Betty, I'm not leaving you out either now.
I'm listening.
so I'm going to go to my home page.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. And in my home page, it's been a long time since I've done this. Um,
Over at home. It's from the tree, manage and open trees.
yes.
It's from trees. It manage yours.
Yeah.
No, I think it's go. You have to go 2 trees and come down, and it says uh, manage your trees some kind of way, and then it gives you different options.
It does, but you guys are blocking me. When I'm displaying for you, I'm looking at you guys on my side here, so you were blocking me. Um,
That must have been the snow up there where Betty's at.
We got it.
Probably. They've really changed this.
Format, the
Yeah,
ancestry format. Yeah, it is.
yeah. I don't.
Especially when we have Pro, the Pro program.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, even with that. All right. If you go to trees and go down to your trees and it is change your trees and do
Yeah, create and manage trees.
right.
Okay, and as you can see, I've got quite a few.
Yeah. Now, how do we get like JEDCOM from there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick a tree. This one's kind of small, I think. Tree settings under the tools column.
Okay, just a minute. Yes. And, and
Okay.
and then what happens? That tree. Wait, let me go back.
You'll
Let me go
see.
back. Let me go back. Um, the tree that we're talking about. Go to tree settings.
Correct.
Okay.
Select tree settings,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see tree info. Your tree info page, which has your tree name, description. On the right of that, you'll see your home person, who you are in
Oh
this
yeah,
tree.
I see. Yeah, the tree info that tells the name of
Mhm.
the tree
Right.
and everything. This is personal tree, most accurate to date.
And to the right, you'll see hint preferences, manage your tree.
Right.
Under manage your tree, it
Mm-hmm.
says export your family tree data as a GEDCOM file to
Correct.
your computer.
Okay.
Then there's a link that says export tree.
Well, then yeah, I see that.
Okay, you select that link, and that will create your GEDCOM file. Once you select that link, it'll ask you if you are sure you want to do that.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. And then you can go ahead and export it. Depending
Yeah.
on the size of your tree, it may take
Yes.
a long time or a short amount of time.
No, it's doing it now.
Yeah, I did one for a smaller tree. And then it says, once it's done, it says download your GEDCOM file.
Correct.
Okay. So you can download that to your computer.
It says done.
Okay.
So that means
And
it went to my download file, right?
yes,
It didn't go to my desktop or anything like that. Like sometimes
right.
it went to my
It just,
download file.
that's correct. And so when you go to your download file,
Let me take a look at that, my download file.
in your upper right corner, you'll see a down arrow pointing to a box. Do you see that on your toolbar?
Um,
On the upper right of your screen?
yes.
Can you see that? Okay. And that tells you your file has been created, and it will say .ged is the extension on that file.
I have it. It's in my
Okay.
download file.
Okay. And then you can then tell it to, open it up or show it in the folder. You've got your options of where you want to show it.
Well, I wanna send it to you.
Okay. So now you just create an email. Go to your email and do a compose.
Okay, just a minute. Uh, some kind of way. Mhm. Hmm. Okay, I know what I can do is when when I'm sharing my screen, I can't minimize my screen and go to email. I mean, when I'm recording and I have I'm running the meeting,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but I can do it. Uh, I know now I can send that file to you,
Yes.
and then you can pull it up and do your magic.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll get Clarice set up to do the same thing because I manage her kit.
Okay.
Okay, so and then once you have it, then you can take a look at it and do what you have to do.
Yeah, yeah. I'll reach out to you and say, okay, who do you want your book printed for? So you'd have to tell me whether or not you want it to be like a descendant book, and you want it to be like for the eldest person in your tree, if you know who that person is. So those are the types of questions I'd have to ask you so that I could
Well,
generate your book for you.
well, I prefer a descendant,
Okay.
and what I can go to my third great grandparent.
Okay.
It has some questions there, and
Okay.
without getting too much details about. That's when it starts to becoming unverifiable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
Mm-hmm.
because of the because of the
Lack of
records,
sources. Yeah.
lack of sources, verifiable sources.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have the family, the slave holding family,
Okay.
and I'm only going to give as much credit or lack of credit uh, as I need to.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but I also want that to be identified of the slaveholding family in the book
Okay.
because that's verified by DNA.
Okay.
So there's going to be a few, in my case, there's going to be a few revisions on that end up in the third grandparent portion.
Mm-hmm.
And and I just want to add that slaveholder in there
Okay.
and then send it to you.
Yeah. We can do that. Like I said, I save mine as a document because there are things I add to the book. And that's one of those, if you don't have your slaveholder listed as an ancestor, um, but you want to include them in the book, we can do that. That's why it's in a Word document first and then changed to a PDF. So I could print it as a document and then send it to you, and we can review it and see what other changes need to be made. When you get it as a document, you can make whatever changes you want and change it to a PDF.
Okay.
Save it as a PDF. Mm-hmm.
Thank you
Yep.
very much for that presentation. That was, that was very informative, and it just shows you the pace of these companies keeping track and wanting to keep their customers,
Yeah.
and they want new customers.
Yeah. Well, I Family Tree Maker, it is can be challenging because it syncs up with ancestry.com. That's a
Yes.
software package that used to be owned by Ancestry, and Ancestry sold it to McKeeve. And there was supposed to be a 2024 version uh, that was supposed to come out. It has not yet been released because of all the changes that Ancestry has been going through. They haven't been able to stabilize the new version of Family Tree Maker. So I've already paid for my 2024 version. So
Yeah, I have the 2019 version.
I that's what I have now as well. But I have paid for the 2024 version, and we have not yet received it. So I've got that in reserve whenever they get it done.
I had the customer support for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple where I would call in when I got on the program. As soon as I go on the program, I call customer support and to support and talk to them and let them talk me through it. And
Yeah.
they would change my computer. They would clear, clean out uh, different issues and maximize the productivity of my computer. They, you
Yeah.
know, they would
Yeah.
remotely take over my computer and
Mm-hmm.
clean it up, give me the latest versions of Windows and updates and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. They're pretty good. I mean, I used to work in IT, so I can usually solve most problems myself. But I'm at this point, I'm just waiting on their new version, and all I can do is wait. It's paid for. I just got to get it.
Which
So,
might have a few bugs in it.
of course, they usually do. I usually get a beta version, which means I'm kind of one of their user testers.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I do
yeah.
too.
So,
I get those. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
that's
So
great.
that's why I'm still waiting on that 2024 version so I can get in there and see what damage I can do.
I was it. I got the beta version when they came out with true through lines.
Yeah, yeah, for Ancestry. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's
that's great. Thank you for sharing that information.
no problem. No problem. Yeah. Now do you use the colorization in uh your package, family tree maker? Because you know you can colorize your family lines and see how
Uh,
they come together.
what do you mean color? Color? No, I haven't used that. Even with the 2019,
Yes.
show
Yes,
us,
even
show us.
okay. Let's
How about
see.
that, Clarice and Betty?
Pretty
Sounds
neat.
good. Counting on you, Jerry. I'm counting on you, Jerry.
He put you to work, you know?
No, but I'm just getting all the language, getting everything, soaking it in, so I know what question to ask and where to go. And Jerry's, I know he's going to help me with this.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for sharing all of this.
No
Yep.
problem. Um, in this 2019 version, and this is my Jarrett family tree. So you can see I've already got some colorization going here. My
Oh
niece
yes.
has
Hmm.
three colored dots, and that's because I've got her colorized. Um, I've got that line, her family line, colorized. But to do that, uh, first I'm gonna I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see who's colorized and who isn't here. So see, you can see all these different color markers. So there's in the upper right hand corner of your family tree maker, you'll see a color coding scale.
Yes.
And if you click on that, it's asking you various options, or it's giving you various options. You can either colorize the current person, or you can colorize all the ancestors of one individual, or you can colorize all the ancestors of using four different colors. This first one is all ancestors, just one color, but this second one is all ancestors using four colors. And then, of course, all descendants. So you've got all of those options going. I'm going to clear all my colors so you can see how this works with each one of these selections here. Okay, so I've cleared all my colors. There's nothing else colorized now. And by the way, when you use Family Tree Maker to create the book, you have the option of including the colorized versions as well to include those colors, and it will explain it in the introduction what those colors represent. Um, but here I'm going to, for George, this is my husband's grandfather. I'm going to just color code him just as the current person. I believe I had him as purple. So I'm just going to colorize him, and he's the only one that's going to be colorized in this whole tree. But now if I choose to uh, colorize all his ancestors and I make them purple, then we're going to go to
His descendants or ancestors.
this was ancestors. So and he doesn't have any, so I got to pick another person so
Yeah,
that you
I
can.
mean, I saw that. That's 1867 or something like that.
1889 is when he
Yeah,
was born, but
yeah.
there's his ancestors. And so now I've made that selection. So now they're all purple, all of his ancestors.
So you can do that with each one.
You could do that with each one if you wanted to. So I did George and all his ancestors, and I could color code the ancestors of his wife. If I do Mary and select her and then mark color coding, and I'm going to make all her ancestors pink, just because. And so when we look at all her ancestors, you'll see they are pink. And of course, those color codes also appear in the index. And then I can do the same thing with descendants. So I've got George here in purple. I'm going to color code all his descendants. Let's say green. So now what you'll see has happened to George, not only is he green, but all of his descendants will be green as well.
Yes. See
Ooh.
that.
Okay.
But what about the other people? That means that they're not the descendants of his. If they're
Correct. They're not his descendants. For example, his daughter Emma was married to Earl, and Earl's not related, so he's not green.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a descendant, so he's not green. If we go to my father-in-law, James, he's green, and so his children are also green. My mother-in-law, Marie, is not green because she's not a blood relative of George's. Now, if I do her family, my goodness, okay, we can do all ancestors. And we'll do that on my mother-in-law's family. And we're going to use the 4 colors. So why is it 4 colors? Because of both her parents. They're going to
four,
take on different colors
your
for the ancestors.
four grandparents.
No, for my mother-in-law, it's going to be all ancestors, and it's going to be 4 colors. So it's going to start with her parents and grandparents. That's why it's 4
Yeah.
colors.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I'll select, I don't think I'm using, well, green's being used. See, here comes the hard part, because then you start crossing colors. We don't want to get it confused, but okay, so, geez. Let's go with the primary colors. So Marie is red. We're going to look at her family. And so the red is following the maternal line. So that would be her father is red, her grandfather was red, her great grandfather was red, so on and so forth. And then we've got her mother is yellow. Her mother's father is yellow. So that whole maternal line is yellow. And then we've got her grandmother is orange. So you can basically see it's taking those back to the 4th level. Parents, grandparents, great grandparents. Let's see where we're going from here, because Louise is her great grandmother. And that's where it stops, and she's red. So you see, now for me, I'm going to clear all these because those are building on ancestors. I choose to go to the top and work my way down by selecting descendants. Okay. Oh, Jerry just added his JID match number. Okay, so I choose to start with from the top and work my way down using descendants.
So
So
do you have an idea what my next question is going to be?
not a clue, Jerry. What's your question?
Once you complete this presentation, I want to show Clarice and Betty how we can find a branch or some similarities or how we can be related through gin match
Oh, okay.
in our story.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm just about done. I'll do all descendants and then we'll be through. I'm going to select Philip Reese here. I'm going to make him red, and therefore all his descendants will be red.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And of course, for Louise, I'll make Louise and all her descendants orange. So now you see their son as both red and orange. And that's pretty much how that works. And then, of course, all the colors will appear in the index because I have that column included in my index.
Which is helpful.
And yeah. And then one final thing is on the index, you can do a filter, right? If you wanted to filter out certain people to work with in Family Tree Maker, there is a filter and you can filter by color.
That that's a great presentation.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I smell VIP all over the place.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah. MVP.
Similar to what you did with my parental, that we did two colors.
Uh-huh.
But I was telling with Jerry, he helped me, on one parent one color and the other parent a different color. But this
Mm-hmm.
takes it much further. And even if you don't have information, it'll put it together. It'll pull information together.
Yes.
It'll be pretty interesting because I know very little of my father just through dealing with Jerry. I've just discovered. So if we put in one of those parents and we can ask for descendants or relatives, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to pull all that information. That is going to.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till Jerry gets started. It
Yeah.
is exciting.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier to spot too
Yes.
when you're dealing with so many different names, especially people you never met and didn't know, but you're collecting information on them. It makes it a lot easier to, oh yeah, that's right. That's on this side of the family. So it's
Right.
it's real easy to pick out which line a person belongs to.
Now you're doing this on it's what is it, Family Tree Maker,
Family
or
tree maker.
is
Hmm.
that's something you have to have a subscription to?
You actually have to purchase it. It's a separate
Okay.
software package.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Okay. It's an entity. It's not. You said it used to be part of Ancestor, but it's not. It's now a separate entity, right?
It's now owned by a separate company. Ancestry used to own it, and
Okay.
they sold it to McKeeve Software. And
Oh,
so
okay.
McKeeve has been trying to keep the updates with Ancestry because you can sync to Ancestry. So every time you make a change in Ancestry, you can sync that to your family tree maker.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And, and what she means by that, uh, if you make when we start off, I know when I started off, I would just connect the dots, a hint, connected, 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 and I was just adding people on, and I got to where I had duplicates, I had
Hmm.
information that wasn't verified, and then I started cleaning up my tree, especially Clarice when they started when we started the reparations process.
Uh-huh.
I refined it. I didn't want to have duplicates in my tree or obvious double records that a genealogist uh, would just automatically recognize. And because I wanted to simplify it. And so
Right.
I made my tree private and I concentrated on it. And so I feel more confident now with the records that I have in one of the trees. Now, I have other ones that are public, but I do have one that is private, quote unquote, that I do most of my serious research and maintenance on because I never know when I'm gonna need it for verifications or I need it for my children to use or that we can say, okay, this is his most accurate tree. And these trees have a certain percentage of accuracy. This science, this technology is, it's remarkable. So the better your records are and that you create, you know, the more accurate your tree is.
I'm cleaning mine up now. I've already started.
Yes. And the whole thing is to start. When you start, then it starts working for you. Because then when you turn on your computer, well, let me clean up a few duplications. And then you clean up a few more, and the program will tell you, oh, you're doing pretty good. Okay, you have all your, you have them all, taken care of. And then you're a little bit more disciplined before you start adding to your tree.
Right.
So, Denise, will you be able to show an example? While I was on another platform, I met uh, Denise, and um, she, I gave my jet match number on this platform. Usually, when I'm talking to different groups or I join them, I leave a jet match number, and that can be used to compare with other individuals' DNA that is not in Ancestry. It could be it matches you in the other testing platforms. So you gave us your email just now, Denise. Could you give us an example of what when I gave my Gmail, I mean my kid Jed match kit number to Nikki, I believe it was, and Freeman's Friday. We were in a breakout room, and and we matched through Jed match, and we found out that you and I do too through Jed match. Could you compare a person that has two kits, two kit numbers, and see what the results are?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Oh, you want me to? Oh, okay. Um,
I can't get into it. I would do it, but like I'm hosting a meeting, I can't get out and then open up my Gem Match
yeah,
platform.
let me
I tried to for a second there. Full screen. I usually do all that before I have a meeting.
mm-hmm. Let me see. I've got a lot open. I may have to close some of this. I'm on a laptop, not a desktop, so
And I talked with Betty, and through her and our research, she was able to upload her information to GEDmatch, and
mm-hmm.
Clarice, that's
Yes.
one that's one thing I recommend that you've been on long enough that I recommend that's the next step for you is to we got to work with you to upload your raw DNA data to GEDmatch. And
Okay.
that
Um,
that
so,
will identify more relatives that Ancestry doesn't have in their database, is what we're saying.
That's
okay.
that's correct, because these would be people that have done DNA tests using other packages like 23andMe or MyHeritage or those kind of places.
And that's a
Um,
and that's a different. That's not a GED-COM. It's your DNA. Your DNA, your raw DNA. You can upload it. That's what they'll use to that platform, to the GEDmatch platform. But I'll discuss with you about the different um, procedures in doing that.
Right. Okay.
And Betty, has
Yes,
it helped
sir.
you? Has it helped you since you've had it?
Yes, yes, it has.
She's alive, y'all. Believe me, she's
Bless your
alive.
heart. You need a hot toddy, Betty.
I'm not going that far. I don't, I
That'll
don't,
get rid of that laryngitis.
I know it. I don't drink. So,
Ah, but hot tea and lemon
And
and
ginger.
honey and ginger, yes.
and homemade lemonade with honey,
Mm-hmm.
peppermint.
How important is that ginger?
Ginger is good. Ginger helps clearing your system out as well.
That hot tea with
Yeah. Get some
ginger.
fresh ginger. Yeah, and put that in
Mm-hmm.
there. You can even make it up and keep it in the refrigerator and heat it up when you want. Yes. Ginger is real good for you.
Okay, what am I doing? A one-to-one relationship here?
No, match both kits 1 and 2.
Okay.
And my number is FE9 687385. What is yours? Okay, let me write that down again. And one thing that Denise does, she has her GEDmatch number embedded in her profile when she's on different platforms. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you see her on a different platform, discussion, different group, meeting group, her GEDmatch is there, and so you'll be able to get it right then, and you can do some comparison. Okay.
Yep. It's there for anybody who wants to know. Are we related, connected, whatever? All right. We found 9 matches that match both kits.
And what happens is you see the number right after the mine 5E96, right after the generations, there's a line. So everything to the left is mine, and to the right that has a RW31 is
That's
hers.
me. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so these people matched, they uploaded their information from different platforms and Ancestry to this GEDmatch platform. And then
Mm-hmm.
what happened is they they compared her DNA and my DNA in this bigger platform. It has more DNA kits to match. And then these people here are the ones that match her and the ones they match me. And then you can tell by the amount of centromorgans. You see these numbers, like shared 33, 26 on mine, 13. That's centromorgans. That's like a fourth cousin to me, 33, something like that. And to her, it's matching like about a fifth cousin, her generation. See the generations?
Mm-hmm.
That's how far away they are. And it starts at the top and works itself down. And over on the left, you can see that's the kit numbers, the people,
Mm-hmm.
individuals, theirs. And on the right is how you can email them if you wanted
Mm-hmm.
to reach out and talk to them. I just want to share this with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we know that somewhere in the process, it's past, it's right about between fourth. We're this how we're related past fourth generations. I mean, it's because of the numbers. See, 33, mine's is 33s, and hers the highest that she matches me is mine is this Felicia Wood, for example. She
Mm-hmm.
matches both of us.
Yeah,
So,
they all do. Mm-hmm.
do you know any of these people?
No, I do not.
And I don't either.
These are all new names for me.
And so what you do is, I'm just letting them know these are tools that we use.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to, we would reach out to that. This, Felicia Wood, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and Brenda Streeter, and
Mm-hmm.
see how where their families are from, or vice versa. And then those are some more their DNA matches to
Mm-hmm.
her and me.
Is that SBC Global still a valid email address?
I don't know.
I don't think that one exists anymore. But we can try to email it to see.
Well, uh, and
And I
now,
think I think SBC is gone.
but we know this here. We know what Rena is.
Mm-hmm.
And so another thing that we would do, um, when she has, when myself or her, we can find out what testing agency did the test.
Mm-hmm.
See, we'll find that after 23andMe, my heritage. There's a way of doing that too, just by having these names. And then you know if they, because some of these might not be ancestors, they're from different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So let's, um, would you please click on your people who match your kit? The blue right there. You're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Click on that, please.
Ooh.
Wow. What are these people that did more than one kit?
Uh,
Why would he be in there twice with two different kit numbers?
well, he might have did one from. Look at that. See that XY and the other one. He might have did one from uh, My Heritage or one of the other platforms and this platform.
Yeah,
He,
did two different kits.
yeah, but it's not that much difference. You see the Central Morgans?
Right.
They're real close.
I still don't know him. Knuckles.
Would you go to the top, please?
Uh-huh.
There you go. See, your highest number is, these are Central Morgans. You see those Central Morgans?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
90. And have you ever have Denise? Have you heard from that person?
No, well, this email address looks familiar, but this name does not.
Do any of those, are they familiar with you? Are you familiar with them?
Um, like I said, this email address I think belongs to someone on my father's side of the family that I'm researching. These others,
Well, they're definitely,
no.
okay, they're definitely relatives. Like, you see, these are 90s, 87,
Uh-huh.
82. See, that, those are,
Uh-huh.
these are the highest numbers are at the top. Now,
Mm-hmm.
would you please click on mine, kits that match FE 96. And remember the Centimorgans, Clarice. Now look at these Centimorgans.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are the people who are in uh, Jed match, who match me, and it
Mm-hmm.
starts with the highest number. Now you see that young Moss right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's my grandson, Delon
Okay.
Moss,
Mm-hmm.
and I managed his kit, and I uploaded his kit to Jed match.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's about 1900 centimorgans. And the way that the gem match, that DNA works, I am 7,000. Each one of us has 7,000 um, DNA centimorgans.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids are half of that, about 3,500, somewhere
Mm-hmm.
along in that number. That's our
Mm-hmm.
kids. That's how big their numbers will be, centimorgans. And our
Mm-hmm.
grandkids are half of that. So my grandson, that's him. He's half of that, plus or minus. That's why he's 1900, and
Right.
that's my grandson.
Mm-hmm.
And these other individuals, I know where they relate to my family. I know their names. They're on my grandmother's side, on my father's side, a lot of them. And I was able to find. Would you go down to that 85 Mike McGee, please? Mike McGee, right there. Mike McGee, he matched me 85 centimorgans, about 3-7 cents away. And I didn't know him, but he matches me pretty high. Look at that. Mike, Mike McGee.
85 is high, huh?
Yeah, he's 3.7. Here's how it's high.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, I reached out to him and I saw his picture. He's white. He thinks he was white.
Don't tell the boy.
And
Not at Christmas.
he matched me. And I reached out to him and said, we're related, new cousin. I, I'm open to explore ways that, we're related.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I don't see how we are related.
Hmm.
And that was on Ancestry. He was on Ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, you need to verify that with me. He said, I'm on Jed Match. Are you on Jed Match? I said, yes, I'm on Jed Match. Check it out. Hey, look, I'm not here pressing you, but you can check out Jed Match. He checked out Jed Match to verify. And when he saw it here, he knew we was relatives. Now, I know how we were relatives. He didn't, because it was my second second uncle, my great uncle, who is his grandfather.
Mm.
See, and he didn't know that. they thought his dad was white, but his dad was half. He was black and white. So he was black. So my second, my great uncle had a relationship with this guy's grandmother, and that's how he was a traveling preacher, and that's how we matched to this 87. And eventually, what happened is, once it was verified, him and I had a good rapport, and we have a good rapport now. And he helps us. He helps us with his research, and we open up lines of communication with his side of the family, and now they know who their real grandfather is, James Monroe Moss.
Mm.
And they helped me. Mike helped me discover his journey because he lived in Minnesota, and that's where they from, in Minnesota. And so Mike verified the record. See, now when you give them information, when you give the folks information, boy, they own it. You tracked it down. Oh, well, I could see where she lived here in the census, and he was in the same house as a boarder.
Mm-hmm.
It started making sense to him, and then they saw another. Then they had the directories, because they lived in Minnesota, maybe another couple of years there in a directory, and they're still together. You see, but the bottom line was the DNA, and some people need to have verification more than just one format. But Mike and his family, his brothers, there's a Pat, there's his daughter. See, if you don't put it up on GEDmatch, you won't know. But if you put it up on GEDmatch, other people are searching on GEDmatch too. You will find people, relatives that you didn't know you had.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the story of GEDmatch, and that's when but the message here from me, the most rewarding um,
What?
now things now I am meeting some of my Caucasian DNA relatives, and they're helping me.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming together. They're sharing information about their slaveholder ancestors, showing me per documentation and DNA how they're related. They're related to some of my cousins. Like some of these people, they match them. And then they're putting it together and it's, oh man, I see y'all doing pretty good. But I see where I also know where this started. And I want to help you with your family. I want to help you reconstruct and share something that I can't, they were real remorseful. Uh, there's about three of them. Tommy Lewis, Lauren Day Mall, and this Mike McGee, my Caucasian DNA cousins with high numbers like that, who help reconstruct, our family. So we're still in the process. And I believe, in conclusion on this topic, I believe America, for example, will come together more when we share more facts on our origins and how we are interconnected.
Yeah, there'll be a greater understanding in that regard. What is have you ever looked at this GED here?
No, but I know him. He's
Can
a
I
good.
click on it?
Go ahead.
It's it's calling my name. I just want to click on it to see what it shows. Uh Individual details displayed in GEDCOM. Okay, so he's uploaded his GEDCOM file. But it's
Yes,
all a lot of good it's doing. It's all hidden.
right.
His mother's out there. maybe the ones that say hidden is because they're still alive. They're still living. Let's look on the pedigree and see. Okay. So there's his pedigree chart.
Hmm.
Look at
Cool.
that. You know, so when you see he is a DNA match to me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And and oh, there you go. Go up a little further. Well, here it is right here. Peter Burnell. See this? Come up, going up, please. Down some. Where it says
Scrolling.
yeah, scroll down. No, not that way. The other way, please. Oh, there's another one. The Kendricks and Hal Kendrick. Them, but like, let's go down further. I want to go to the Burnells. Come down. Yes, keep going. Right there. There he is. That Peter Burnell and that Nimrod Burnell. Those are my ancestors. See,
Okay.
and we are DNA match. That's my grandmother's, my father's mother. Those are their um, ancestors. And
Okay.
Peter, look at that, 1790, and passed away in 1879. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. I didn't have a thank you, Denise. I didn't have a death for him, but I got one now.
Mm-hmm.
But I had his name, but I didn't have the death for him. But this is the family. This is my family, and they're in my tree. But that's what we got from the GM. Um, that's what we got from that. Clarice and Betty. These are some of the
Uh-huh.
examples working together, and her curiosity, Denise's curiosity. Look what we found out.
Yes, I'm curious.
And there he is. Look at this one, Peter Burnell. The ones
Uh-huh.
that Isham Burnell.
Uh-huh.
That's my third great grandfather for sure.
Okay.
That's my DNA third great grandfather.
Let's see, we can click on his descendants. Woo, look at that.
Yeah, those are all my people. On his side. There they all are.
Mm-hmm.
And and, and look at them. Some of them migrated to California. You got the California, Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they were they we have a cemetery, a church, Mount Vernon Church in Stevens, Arkansas, and in back of that church they had the family library. I mean family cemetery.
Okay.
Yeah, that so and Betty is my go-to on find a grave, and she helps us with that component, how we can the records and how to build your tree um, by find a grave. That's been a very helpful tool. And she's my Caucasian cousin, but she matched me DNA. And so what we're doing, she's very helpful. She's you know the truth can't be hidden. So what we're
Right.
doing, we're working together.
Yeah.
So I'm
And in WikiTree, that's my focus are the African American cemeteries, and the Black churches. And so yeah, I had a lot of profiles when I find those cemeteries and get
go
other people to
go down
add
a little,
profiles in WikiTree
go
for me.
down a little bit more, please. Wait, and
Okay.
you can continue the conversation. Go down a little bit more.
Oh, that's all right. I was just saying, Betty, if you ever want some help with that, because like I said, I do a lot of that with WikiTree,
Help
putting up
Betty?
profiles for
How
I
you
use
gonna help?
Wiki.
How are you
I
gonna help
use,
Betty? She's the guru.
I've been on Find a Grave for like 24 years.
Is that right?
I'm just talking. Go ahead, cuz.
I don't
Yeah,
know why I'm getting all these little green lines here. I'm sorry about that.
I did that.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to, I was trying to do something with your presentation. That's what that came from.
Oh, okay.
But
What
all
did you
those,
click on whiteboard or something?
yeah.
Okay.
But see, all these relatives, there they are, and see that information. Look at they're in Los Angeles, California, different places like that. And as we come through, those are my Burdell families. That's
Oh,
my father's mother. All,
okay.
all them.
Now Mildred grew up with a couple of my cousins there in Shreveport
Oh,
in Caddo Parish. Yes, sir. Those are
see
all
that?
on my dad's side. Those are my
Oh, go
my
ahead.
daddy's people. Hmm.
Denise, are you adding your family as you find them on Find a Grave?
Uh, yes, ma'am. A lot of them are already there on Find a Grave. Because there was only 2 cemeteries in Greenwood that allowed Black folks back in the day, and there's still some that I'm trying to find
Well,
because they were in Greenwood, Louisiana.
if you have a census, you don't even
Hmm.
have to have a birth certificate. You can
Hmm.
take that census and post it on there and use it to add them if they're not in that cemetery.
Well, see, and that's what we're not sure of. We're not sure if they're interred there or interred elsewhere.
Well, you don't have to know what cemetery they're in, honey. You can take that census and add them as unknown and go ahead and put them on Find a Grave. You can always delete that if you do find them.
Okay.
And that way,
Okay.
anybody else searching, if they have information and you are on Find a Grave, they will, oh, honey, they will come out of the woodwork and tell you this is wrong. I can tell you where he's buried.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I do see a lot of memorial pages that say burial details unknown. Is that what you're talking about? So
Yes,
it
ma'am.
was,
I
uh-huh.
use that to add mine, or if I have a birth certificate and it shows a certain cemetery and they're not there, then I go to that cemetery. I take
Mm-hmm.
that record that shows they're buried there and
Mm-hmm.
put that birth certificate on there and add them to that cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a census and I don't know where they're buried. I use that census and go ahead and put it up on Find a Grave. And then anybody searching that person, they will email me and tell me, hey, I have information on this person.
Okay.
And it helps a lot.
Yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know. And see, I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm taking the folks that already have memorials on Find a Grave, and I'm creating profiles for them on WikiTree so that we can connect them to their family trees on WikiTree. They're
Right.
not necessarily my relatives, but could be relatives of other people. Like I just did one for um, a, a a musician, a jazz musician out of Chicago, and was trying to connect them to his family and the family members that we already had in WikiTree. So it's that's kind of what I do in my spare time when
Denise,
I
I
want to brain
could you
drain.
stop sharing, please, and continue? Stop sharing.
Stop sharing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use WikiTree when I come to a roadblock.
Okay.
I use it to search because there's a lot of stuff on there. And a lot of times, WikiTree will have wills. It will have find the grave if you don't know where they're at. There's a lot of information you can get from there also.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that because that's what we intend to happen with WikiTree.
Yeah, Denise is one of the administrators of WikiTree, Betty.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a project leader for the U.S. Black Heritage Project.
Well, I haven't uploaded anything to it, but I've used it as a search reference.
Good, good. Well, maybe I can get you to start adding profiles to it.
But she's not black.
It don't. Who cares? WikiTree started. This is their 16th year. WikiTree actually started as a European website. Its initial members were from Europe. So there's a lot of projects and things like that from various countries across the pond. So you don't have to be black. And we've got, 106 members of U.S. Black Heritage, and 5 of them are black. Everybody else is not.
Hey, Jerry, I'm not black, but I am a family history buff.
That's all it takes to be interested in family history and to be interested in helping others find their ancestors.
And you're my cuz.
Well, I'm suppose I do have some somewhere that we're related.
Well, everybody, we want to have some closing comments, and thank you so much, everyone. We had some tasks. I think this has been great. What's happened today. Unannounced. I didn't put out a meeting invitation. I just said, well, let's just go with who shows up, and we got a lot accomplished. When you all agree,
Yes.
Clarice, I make a recommendation that Denise is the VIP
Okay.
per your Betty. Any comments on that?
I'm gonna get with Denise and see about adding some of mine.
All right.
So Denise, you're officially the VIP for this meeting.
And I agree.
Most valuable player person in the meeting.
Oh, well, thank you. Not necessary, but thank you.
Okay, we'll call you the most valuable player
Okay.
because we're most valuable players.
Yes.
Okay.
We all contributed. Yes.
Most valuable. We're all most valuable people. In this meeting, you're the most valuable player. Hey, Clarice, what made you make that suggestion about a half an hour ago? What happened? What was going on that you put your recommendation in early?
Well, because just about the VIP, smelling VIP, because I smelled it. No, no, it's just what's interesting is just that information. It's like if you don't have some stuff, it's gonna pull it together, and then you ask some of the questions like, okay, how to download the stuff to JetMat and all that. So it just, again, I'm learning the terminologies. And by next year, I'm gonna have my laptop and computer set up. So I'm basically working with my phone. And thank goodness to you, Jerry, that you have managed my kit so you can do those things. And so that's what I'm just soaking in all this information. And I love the way you all pass on each other's. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And I took down. I have Denise's, I have Betty's email and stuff because I'm sure if that's okay, I might have a question to ask one of them, and that's what I'm doing now, just getting references and people who I can call up and say, other than bug Jerry all the time, because I'm learning a lot, and that's what I'm trying to do. And each time I hear it, I memorize it, I write it down, And then when I get all set up, because I have vision issues, and so some things, it's hard for me to see. So I've got my computer and my laptop was going to be set up in the first of the year, and then I'll have a bigger vision, a platform to look at. And then I'm going to delve into this. I mean, really get into this. I'm excited, so excited. I like this book idea because it's going to pull together a lot of that research for you.
Mm-hmm.
I check my email every day. So let's go.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I
Right.
think you'll be hearing from me.
Yes, ma'am.
Some
And
closing
thank you for
comments.
your.
Some closing
Um,
comments, Denise.
Uh, no, once again, it's been a great meeting. I enjoyed, meeting you all and talking with you all and just sharing information. I actually learned because I don't do Jed match very often. Yeah, I have a kit, but that's the first time I was actually out there and compared kits. So I learned a lot through that experience. I learned something new every day. That's always been my objective, to learn something new every day, and that happened here for me today.
Well, Denise, I'm going to go put you on mine and see what I see.
Okay. Now that I
Well,
know how to do it, I'll be able to do the same.
well, in closing from me, if the Lord wills, I want to wish. I have a birthday, but I want to wish Clarice. He just had a birthday recently, wasn't it, Clarice?
Oh,
yes, the 21st of November.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes. And on the 22nd, uh, my birthday will be here, and so the Lord wills, I'll be 74 in
Okay.
December 22nd. So I consider all the miles and the the happiness that I've had and this journey that we all are on. I just pray that it continues and we get a chance to share more time together and use that time to the maximum, have some fun, and share the good news. The good news is we have a reservation in heaven, and that's a blessing.
And it is. I do have one other question. What is that jet? What's the cost for that? Um,
Jet match is free.
Jet match is free. Okay.
Hmm.
You know what the cost is, cuz? Courage. You have to sign
Courage.
up for it.
Is that all? Okay.
You
It's
have
something you
that.
had to pay. Definitely have courage.
Yeah, we'll sign you up. I get you signed up.
Okay.
That's why we ask.
I think.
That's why we ask for those different, just the formats to go over it again.
Right.
It's always good to have refreshers and refresh and use it.
Exactly.
And you heard my story about verification
Yes.
with Mike, my cousin Mike. And some people they see the truth, Clarice, and they don't DNA truth, and they still
Yeah.
try to say no.
Right.
The truth can't be hidden; it can
No,
only be revealed.
there's only so many coincidences you can have.
Yes,
And then especially when you have the different stories and things like that, and then you could see the numbers. Like I said, there was always that German question on my mother's side of the family. And when I look at the 6% that's not descended African on my point, and 2% of that is German. And so, that just solidifies those stories that got passed around, and that's part of the verification.
Hmm.
Uh, so that's been exciting. But there was something that you do have to have a subscription to. What we were talking about it today. Did I? I didn't write. If it wasn't JetMat,
oh, it
something you
it
you
was it
download.
was it was the family tree maker.
Oh
She
yeah,
was
that's it. Okay, okay,
yeah,
good. I'm
and
gonna write that down
you
and
know
put that down.
we have it. I mean, I have it, and she said, you have that's an add-on. That's just that one. But for
Right,
you,
right.
the JED match, that's next for you, and it'd be a great tool for you because you're finding your relatives on your father's side, correct?
Right. Yes.
So we'll find some from some different platforms, and I'll have it to you before Christmas. So that'd be a Christmas present
Okay.
for you.
Oh, how
Uh,
sweet.
Does Clarice have a Gen Max number?
No, that's what we're talking about giving her.
Oh,
You
okay.
got wax in your ears?
Oh,
Be nice to
Jerry.
her. Now she's not. I got her down too. I got her down for Find the Grave. That's Betty, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I got your email. Yep. You gonna be hearing from me.
Yes, ma'am. And if you can't do it and you send me the information, honey, I'll add it for you.
Hey, I will be. I'm so grateful. Like I said, I'm just writing this. I've got now three. I got Jerry, Denise, and Betty, and then there's another lady that I can't remember what her that's normally on here. But yeah, I'm writing your name down and your expertise areas. So if I have a question, I can email and you all so willing to help, and I
Clarice,
appreciate it.
have you
But
joined Find a Grave? It's free.
okay. Find a grave. Okay, it's free. I'll put that down. I just have to put stuff down what it is, and then I'll go back. Um, and then when
If
as
you
I
if you don't think you can join it, I can I can I can join it for you with your email and get you in there and set up.
okay, why don't I send you? You should have said that.
Hey, you said
Tell her, Jerry. Tell her, Jerry.
if it's free, it's for me.
But if somebody's gonna help me, I'm definitely. I got your email down. Betty, what's the CASS at yahoo.com. I got you down, and I have you under Find the Grave, and I'll send my email.
I
Write
set
myself a
yours up
note.
for him. I can set yours up.
Okay, I
and
will
and
do that.
WikiTree is free.
Yes, I wrote that down the last time. The Wiki Tree. Yes, I've yet to
Hmm.
go there, but it's just because I have this phone. I just went and got one of those free phones. But as soon as I get my laptop out, because it's kind of hard to do this stuff from these phones that I done dropped a million times. So
Hmm.
You're doing
so
great,
I'm gonna
Clarice.
take off. I'm taking off in January because I'm gonna get this stuff set up. I've been dealing with the medical, changing my medical plan,
Amen.
hours and hours and doing all this stuff. So I finally got that taken care of. Now I'm just gonna take a breather and let this year ride out.
Yeah, what
I just had another one of my other brothers had a stroke. I lost a
Mm.
brother in September. We got so it's just been a lot of stuff coming at me, and this has kind of helped me take my mind off of that and
Hmm.
yes.
connecting with family, and it's just been wonderful.
And
I
you
appreciate
found your
all of
family.
you.
You found family things that you
I
didn't
did.
know. And
I did.
that's
Thank
significant,
you.
isn't it? Like you said, that's that's medical. That's therapy.
Yes, it is. It is. It is because otherwise it was just this dark void in my life.
No.
I know it's out there, and I had got some information as I kept on my own. Everybody's dead, but I'm getting close to a live person, and it's getting ready to jump off, and I'm excited about it. Really am.
Hey, that's see, that's my harvest. That's what makes me happy. That makes me really happy to see you, progress and you're getting fruits from, you're getting your harvest. You know,
Yes.
we're getting our harvest now. We're smelling the flowers. We're acknowledging each other now. You know,
Right. Right.
that's what means so much. And thanks for coming, every one of you. And I pray that you have a great Christmas. And remember, God
Yes.
gave his only begotten son, Jesus Christ. He gave
That's
him so that
the
we
reason.
can have eternal life.
That's the reason. It's
It's
a
all
reason
good.
for the season. Hmm.
It's all God. Till next year, if the Lord wills, and anyone who wants to talk to me anytime before then, my line's open.
Thank
I
you.
All
know
right.
I know I'll
All
be
right.
talking to you,
Well,
Betty.
Merry Christmas.
I know I'll be talking to you, Betty.
Oh, yeah. We talk every day.
Oh, okay.
I learned a
Yeah.
lot.
And you say y'all homies, huh?
Yes. When I
Betty,
get
you
my
go.
tree cleaned up, Denise, I'll get on Wiki. I've got a lot of that I don't have documentation for. I'm clearing up my duplicates now.
Okay.
I'm at 85% on it, so that's climbing.
Okay. Very good.
And
Very good.
she has a tree of 105,000.
That's big. But Betty,
Yeah.
you
That's
make you
why I
some
can't
tea with some
remember half
honey.
the stuff. I have to go hunt it down
Yeah.
when I get a DNA match.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't go off on rabbit trails, can you? It's very easy to go, oh, and then forget where you were going before. But Betty, you make sure you make yourself some tea with some honey and get some fresh ginger if you can, or get someone to get it for you and
Yeah.
drink that.
I'll send.
That'll help.
I'll let James soon he goes to work bring me home some ginger and
Yes,
I'll
please
boil it
do.
up.
That'll help
That'll
you a lot.
soothe. Yeah, that's going to
Yes,
soothe that throat.
yes, and it also helps to run things out of your system as well.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
Well, I
that's
don't know
good.
about running stuff out of my system. I think I've
Well,
pretty well done that.
well, there's something lingering there. It's
Mm-hmm.
lingering, but it'll clear it. It'll do whatever it needs to done with God's help. That's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you stay well.
Well, I've been like this for about, I say 5 days now.
Okay.
Coming
Oh
in.
my. Yeah, yeah. You really some hot tea and honey and ginger.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Some lemon. That'll
Yes.
that'll that'll soothe those muscles in your throat. That's why it sounds like you got laryngitis.
Oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I told Jerry I didn't know if I'd be able to talk very much, but I had to
Yeah,
watch
don't talk too
and
much
listen and
though.
learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. You gonna be all right.
And
Yep.
she said she was just gonna join the meeting and just sit back and she wasn't gonna say anything. Fat
It's kind of hard.
chance.
If it's something new, I'm willing to learn.
It's all good.
And I
Okay,
always get something good out of the meeting.
y'all take care.
Yeah. All right. Likewise,
Okay.
All
everyone.
right.
All right.
All
Enjoy the
right.
happy holidays.
Uh-huh.
Merry
Happy holidays,
Christmas.
everyone. Merry Christmas.
I'll be talking to you just soon, Clarice.
Okay. I
Yeah,
can always figure out how to leave the meeting.
yeah, we're gonna no, we're gonna follow up on Jed Match and a couple other items.
Okay.
I'll be
Yeah.
getting with you.
Whenever you just, text me, call me, and that's fine. I appreciate it, Jerry.
You're awesome.
Okay, then enjoy your holiday. I'm gonna figure out
Hey,
how to get
hey,
out of
hey,
here.
hey, and my birthday. I'll be up with you.
Oh yeah, no, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's that date again? The 22nd.
Yeah.
Let me write that down so I won't forget that. Okay, I got it. All right. Peace out, as they say.
All right.
Uh, oh, here it is. Okay. I'll figure this out sooner or later.
You're doing great. You're really progressing.
I
You
am.
you really progressing. Great meeting to be unannounced. A lot of information was shared. It's good to talk to my DNA cousins. As I reflect, on this journey, this DNA research journey. Every day, every moment is precious, and the results. Then they have, you know, to see faces and to see them smile and joy that it gives my family and my friends from researching their families. It's, it's therapy for me, and it's also motivation to keep going. So it's all good. It's all good.